Hi, this is Matt Marchant, and I have a question. How do we sabotage ourselves from what we want? My first question to you would be this. How many people do you think sabotage themselves at some point in their life? My guess would be 100%. I'm not sure what yours would be, but I have an idea that that might be fairly accurate, give or take maybe no percent. But in all seriousness, when it comes to self-sabotage, it's a very interesting topic for me. I really like looking into how I do it so I can understand myself and become more aware. Whenever I look into a subject, I like to come to a better definition of it. So for me, self-sabotage means getting in my own way. If I were to break down that word self, I look within. I'm not looking without. I'm not looking at what someone else did, what they did to me. I'm not looking at some event, what that event did or did not do to me, or did or did not do to people around me or nobody around me. I'm looking right here at myself. Sabotage, next word. When I think of the word sabotage, I think more of being tripped up than really trying to destroy myself or really injure or harm myself. Although that may be an effect of self-sabotage, when I'm really looking for my own behavior, I'm looking for how do I get in my own way, how do I trip myself up, and even better, how do I divert myself from what I say I want and kind of nudge myself off of that path onto another path, taking many, many steps before I figure out, hey, I wanted to head over this way. So when I look at self-sabotage, I find it important to take a look at a task or an accomplishment in general and view it in three phases. If we can, let's view a task or an accomplishment in three phases. First we have the creation phase, the planning phase, and then the doing phase. So if I can identify which of those phases I mostly sabotage myself in, I feel I have a better outlook on where to start looking at that behavior. As opposed to just going out going, okay, deal with your self-sabotage, get out there, do it, figure it out. Well, where? What does it look like? How does it show up? For me, this is important. Let's go through those three phases. First, we have the creation phase. This is being able to articulate to yourself what it is you want in life. So if someone was to come up to me and say, Matt, what do you want in life? And I say, wow, I've never thought about it. I don't know. Or I have thought about it and I still don't know. It's possible I'm sabotaging myself in the creation phase. I cannot create even just the thought of what I want. So right there, I'm sabotaging myself. I can't get anything accomplished at that point. Next phase, planning phase. So now we can call this person maybe the dreamer. They sit around, they can dream up a lot of great ideas. Oh, I want to do this. I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to go do all these things. But when it comes down to really sitting down and going, okay, how am I going to really accomplish that? What do I need to do? What things need to be in place and in order? That's where things get lost. So it's possible I might be sabotaging myself not in the creation phase. I can create ideas, but it's planning it. I have no idea how to now take it to the next step and plan out this creativity. Let's look at the third one, the doing. So now I can create ideas, I can plan them out, I got the spreadsheet, I know what I need to do. Monday, do this. Tuesday, do this. All these different things, but when it comes to actually pulling the trigger and doing it, I'm at a loss. I can't do anything from there. I just have a nice spreadsheet and a folder and all these things and these Post-its everywhere and these notes on what I'm supposed to do, but I can't get anything done. So it could be that I'm sabotaging myself in that third phase. So I would offer this to you. Take a look at how you get in your own way and ask yourself, which of these three phases do I tend to step into my own way and push myself from the direction I want to go? Is it creating? Is it planning? Is it doing? Okay, so let's take a relationship as an example in these three. Okay, so let's say you're looking for a relationship with someone. First one, creation. Are you having a hard time just even having the desire to meet people? Well, that's going to sabotage you having a relationship. Next one, maybe you're getting out there online or making phone calls and finding people, but you're talking to them one time, but not following up. Let's look at the third one. Perhaps it's doing. You're meeting people, you're going out, having fun, doing whatever, but when it comes to a couple weeks later, the doing part and really now being engaged in a relationship, not being engaged, but being involved in a relationship, are you having trouble there? So, maybe we could take those 3 steps and use it. Maybe that works, maybe it doesn't as an example, but I'm sure there's could be some other examples. Anyways, so those are the 3 phases. Next, let's look at self-sabotage, and let's, if we could, distill self-sabotage into 4 different ways that it appears. First, obvious. This is big ways. This obviously is obvious. Open a newspaper, turn on the TV, there's sports stars, there's politicians, there's celebrities. They give us so many examples of this, we don't need to go on about it. It's clearly obvious. You're sabotaging yourself. Next one, subtle. Okay? I find myself doing this a lot more. In the past, it was a lot more obvious. Now it's a lot more subtle. Third, we have direct. And fourth, we have indirect. So if we can just kind of give an example for those. Let's say, obvious. Obvious, I go out tonight, I drink way too much, I stay out way too late, knowing I have a big meeting tomorrow with some big time whomever that's going to really help my business, my life, whatever, and I can't wake up the next morning, or I wake up, I really sabotage myself. That's pretty obvious. I sabotaged what I said I want in life. Now let's look at a more subtle way. Now I don't go out, I'm not doing anything wild or crazy, but every night I go to bed a little too late, knowing I should get to bed earlier because I need the sleep. But it's just 30 minutes, it's just an hour, but I do that for 30, 60, 90 days. And over time, it starts to sabotage my work, my relationships, my own personal growth. So could there be both obvious and subtle ways that we sabotage ourselves? Absolutely. And again, I find myself doing more subtle ways a lot more. And I think that most people, if we really looked, are probably sabotaging themselves a lot more subtly than more obviously. So let's look at the last 2, direct and indirect. I view direct as doing something. I'm making a choice that I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to eat a bowl of ice cream and all these cookies and do all this. That's a direct thing. I did something. How about not doing something? How about not eating breakfast, not eating lunch, skipping things? Could that be another way that we sabotage ourselves? Knowing that, yeah, I know breakfast is an important meal of the day, and I say I want to lose weight, but forget it. So you have someone over here sabotaging themselves directly, cookies, ice cream, whatever, in abundance, putting on weight when they say I want to lose weight, or somebody doing something indirectly when they should make a decision. So again, obvious, subtle, direct, meaning doing something, and indirect, meaning not doing something. So when I look at these things, it helps me get a better idea of how I'm sabotaging myself. What phase am I sabotaging myself in, creating, planning, doing, and how am I doing it right now in my life? I might have done it differently yesterday, a year ago, 10 years ago, but am I doing it? Is it really obvious? Is it subtle? I might have to look a little deeper. Is it direct? Am I doing something? Or am I actually not doing something? Is there a choice that I'm not making that I need to make that is sabotaging me? So again, this topic is very deep. There's a lot more things that can be said on it. In this video, I was hoping just to establish a foundation of what self-sabotage looks like and where it might appear in our lives. Thanks for watching.